Hello, good morning. Yes, this is Patrick Osatuame Aigbogun. Most of you have heard my voice, and this is the face. So, some of us missed the last class, the last lab, and we feel because of the network issue that it would be better if we redo just a summary of the class for some of us that were not able to make it because of work and busy schedules. So today, I'm just going to go through the lab based on our last class, and I'm going to stop where we stopped. The reason why we always prefer a live class is because of the interaction. You know, it's better, you can ask questions when you watch the video, but it's better when you are live. You can ask questions, see the way things are done. You are doing your own too. When you have issues, you ask for live questions, you solve it immediately. Then after the live session, you can do your own delay course and get it perfect. Understand me? So welcome again. And my name is Osato Patrick Aibogun. So I'm just going to share my screen now to AWS. In our last class, we talked about creating an account with AWS. So this is how you create an account. Very easy. As you have to create an account as a root user. You say create new account. Very easy. You just go to sign in.aws.amazon.ng, or just come directly, just write aws.amazon.ng. I mean, put it in the site, sure. Then when you can reshare, when you get to this place, just say sign in. Just click sign up. I've already started signing up, so it got to this point. So you don't need to more. You must not come here. Just say, should I say, start a fresh account? Just a regular site where you create your, not the same way you create your Gmail account. Okay, there are two ways you sign up to AWS. Either you use your IAM AWS Management Console, or you use a CLI. CLI means command line interface. Command line interface with your command prompt. You can log in. You can sign up without any issue. With your command prompt, you can log in the way you always sign up in other applications. So you can use a PowerShell, you can use a GitHub to sign in to your account. But that will be a discussion for another day. So you come to it's always free. These free tiers offered do not expire and are always free. It's for always free. This is 12 months free. This is trial, normal regular trial. The one we are going for is 12 months free. Under 12 months free, these are the things that you have that you're going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy 775 EC2 hours per month. Then you're going to enjoy Amazon 5 gig S3 bucket, then RODS for database, relational database, all the facility in the relational database. If you're going to have it for a whole full 750 hours, then these are the things you are going to enjoy. Machine learning, Sigma, Lambda 1 million, free requests per month. And those are the things that tier 1 we enjoy. Free tier we enjoy. Just that the support. So your CloudWatch to have CloudWatch 12 customized alignment to the back CloudWatch tells you what is going on, the issues about your site, how much resources you are using, how is everything. So you know, it will wash your cloud for you and tell you what is going on and give you alarm when necessary. These are the things you're going to enjoy. Just take your time to come here and ask yourself and see, look at the things you are going to enjoy so that you will not be caught unaware. This is a share file system. Just like if you have like 2 databases, you wanted to share one memory, you can use this one to share. Can use for elastic block storage, just like a hard drive attached to a system. You know, without the CBS, you'll not be able to launch a server. So there's 2 types there. One for root, that one is where you save your operating system. Then we have extra. Whenever you are spinning up an instance, you are going to choose it item. So you just take your time and come here, see all the things you are going to enjoy free, you know, for 12 months. So if you are using the instance, for example, you are using the instance for say Elasticsearch, which have 750 hours per month, and if you set up your CloudWatch, it will tell you that it will tell you that you are using above your free tier. So if you continue using it to eat up into your bonus credit, if you have bonus credit, if you don't have bonus credit, they will debit your account. So to avoid that, you have to set it up in a way that does not affect you. So create free account. Creating free account, then this is the master key to the whole infrastructure. So if you misplace your root account credentials, it can be retrieved if your email address is still accessible. You understand me? And make sure that you always keep it in a safe place, because it's very, very important you have that. Then secondly, your root user account give you the capacity to know everything, including billing, which is not accessible by your IAM account. Your root user account is the ownership, is your CFO. So if anybody can log in as a root user and you are not aware and alter your credentials, and we'll be able to access your instance, your everything. Although we know instances also have security, also have some keys. So people save their key pair in their app, in their system, in their server. You can be copied and somebody can just have access to your resources. Imagine a company giving you a production and giving you as a full 100% access to a cloud infrastructure like this AWS platform, and you misplace the use, or the information gets to the wrong hand, you are in trouble. Company will make loss, especially if it's not accessed well, or their information is being tampered. So it's a critical equipment. This is a critical equipment. I will explain to you what I mean by critical equipment next time in our next class. Let's continue the practical class. Okay, you come to security and identity management. This is the first place you go to, because now you bought a land, you bought a house, you need to tell the landlords, the landlady, you need to differentiate everybody. You give them a role. If you have a tenant, if you have a caretaker, you need to give the caretaker the right for the whole apartment. You understand me? Well, you cannot give the caretaker your CFO, meaning your root user account must not be given to your caretaker. A caretaker in the cloud is like a system administrator So a system administrator most times have access to all resources. All resources, you allocate the resources. So you create an account, you come here, create first of all. I always recommend you create a group first. But some people create a user first before the group. Either way, it's okay. But create a group first, and you can create an individual. An individual can have its own role or adopt a role of somebody, or take or inherit the role and the policy of a group that you've created. So a user can inherit a role or a policy. You can create its own role, a special role for the person. You can also inherit a role from a group. We always recommend you create a group, whatever role you create a group, assign a role to the group, then take that role, let that group, that user be attached to the group. In that way, you don't need to be creating every user and be creating different roles for them. You just need to just create a user, look for the group based on the HR role, based on the HR role of description as discussed, designed in this job employment offer. Look at the job offer, look at the role, then and you know the kind of resources that he should have access to. Then create a group, look for a group in that department, maybe networking department, maybe system admin department, assign the role on the resources that they need. Some of them don't need some resources. Imagine you assigning a database access to a network department. They may not need a database full access. And they can read, you can give them read only, but they may not have, you shouldn't be having the right to write, because they don't even need to write. They don't need it. You understand me? So that is it. You have to create a rule. For example, we are going to create a group now. I'm going to call it Cloud Enthusiast. Then this Cloud Enthusiast, then you click next. Say it has already existed because I've created one. Let's say Enthusiast 2. I created one for my class. The class that network was giving us issue. Then the group now is telling you policy, which policy means what resources should he have access to. So I recommend for the first role you are going to create, because you are going to be part of that role. You are going to be part of that group as an admin. Because it's not good to always log in to your cloud infrastructure using your root every time. You are supposed to use your IAM. So in using your IAM, you need to create a group that your IAM will have the policy or role to access all the cloud infrastructure. And that role is called administrator access. It's called administrator access. Administrator access means you have a role to all the resources. You understand me? So look at it here. If you can come here and type, say admin, administrator role. See, there are so many administrator role here. Administrator access amplify, administrator role, elastic beanstalk. This this elastic beanstalk is for PaaS, platform as a service. I'll tell you what it is. So it's just like a use. So if you have an administrator role, you can do every other thing. So you don't need to be if you attaching different role to it. This one is already enough. And you just like that. Come here. Next, the next is okay, policy created. You create the group. Then that's it. This is the group now. The group is here. So it is existing. So this does not have user yet. So the permission, you have full permission. Then the advisor. This advisor will only advise you when something or somebody or somewhere is trying to access the right or trying to access your own stuff. We advise you what is going on. Maybe we can also advise you that, okay, in this group, this password needs to be reset. Many things. So it depends on what is going to happen. So let's go to user. You have to add a user. Then I already have users here. I'll show you how to create a user. Just come here, and sometimes it's good to create a user with a surname. See, in a production environment, you can say Kunle, or you can say Clinton. And when you say Clinton, and we have so many Clinton in that company, it becomes an issue. So just the way you create your normal official email address, we can say Clinton dot Adekunle. You can even make it a complete email address. You can use the official email address here. Then you say, okay, I have access to programmable access, meaning you can able to access it using the CLI. If you didn't do this, if you didn't alight either of them, they will not have the capacity. This user will not have the capacity to do either of them. But it's better if most of the time, we may not, this one is not necessary. Sometimes this one is necessary. But you can just do both, because you don't know tomorrow. The person may grow, may become a programmer, may move from one department to another. Then you may not be able to do AWS API for the use of the AWS API, meaning different application that you can use to access AWS. Then a CLI using the command line interface, like your command prompt, like your Git badge, you understand me, like your commander, you understand me? So you can make use of this. Then SDK, different software development kit. You can design a software development kit and embed it, and also use it to log into AWS. That's its two access type. Then the console, you can say, okay, generate a password for the person, or you can decide to have a customized password for that person and say, okay, welcome. And this password will be changed. You understand me? Say it's not up to standard. It must contain up to normal password policy. Say welcome at 122. You check. Is it okay? It's okay. Welcome, or I can say welcome 2022. This password will be sent to the person. Or if it's auto-generate, you generate the password and send to the person. The person will now later change. And sometimes when you are typing those things, it's difficult for somebody to be type all those alphanumerical code. Since it's the password they are going to change, why give them problem? Just create your own and send it to them and let them log in and be relaxed. Then user must create a password, yes, at the next login. May decide not to do that. May say, okay, no. Immediately you log in, keep using this password. But it's advisable to do this so that the person will know is responsible for the security of his password. Then you do that. Then the next you do. The question now is, what do you want? How do you want it to be accessed? And it won't work. How do you want me to access? Don't save password in your Windows. It's always advisable. Don't save it on your Windows. Just save it. Save it in either any software password API, password vault API. You can get most internet security have vault. Google also have vault. Google vault, password vault. Make sure you save it so that you can have control over it. This place is also okay if you have full internet security and you are careful with your system, the kind of site that you visit. So go here, add user, copy permission from an existing user, attach an existing policies directly. I think for me, I like using this. For us, since you are coming in as administrator and you are going to have another administrator too, so you just add the person to this administrator, which we already do to a group. You can decide to copy an existing. So for example, you can do this, or you can say, okay, no, this. If you click this, you look for the user. If you look for the user, Kemi, so every right that Kemi has. So since Kemi is in a group, if this Kemi, we just inherit it, you understand me? So it will automatically belong to that group. So let's say Kemi, click here, you understand me? So I always recommend you just come here use, don't do this. Just go by change the password type. The password type, don't. You change the type. Just come here, just put the group you created and please go around and play. Use a key to save a particular user. So me, I put pretty babe. Then come to review. Then pretty babe. You already created a user. Permission boundary is not set. But there's no boundary. You are making use of is an admin. Manage policy. I use IAM user policy. You change password. Then the group you created, which is an admin group. Then, so if you have another person that you want to make an admin, you don't need to be creating a group again. Just create the user and attach it to the group. That's all. So the credentials of that person is here. You can download it. Then the password. You already know your password now. You're the one that created the password. So come here. Download it. No. Then you're good to go. So you can directly mail the credentials to the person by clicking here. You just you go to your Outlook and you copy the credentials and send to the person. So this key is for access, for CLI access. It's a secret access key and access ID. These are access IDs, access key. That's for CLI and other SDK, software development kits. So you can come here and just read through to understand. See, so the things you have done, you've created, then you have attached, you've added into the group, you have created the access key for Clinton, you have created the login profile. So meaning, as far as we are concerned, Clinton is good to Kemi or Clinton Adekune is good to go. So that is it. So let's grant list privilege. What's a list privilege? A list privilege, a different platform have what we call list privilege, meaning the listing that anybody can do. In some platform, like in this platform, you can just be able to log in. You don't have right to do any other thing apart from this. You understand me? So you can grant a list privilege to any user you create. So meaning if the user want to make use of any API or any facility, must contact you and you now grant a person access. That's a list privilege. Then AWS organization, just take your time to read all this literature by yourself so we won't keep time. So this is for MFA. Say enable MFA for all users, meaning every user that access this will be prompted to create an MFA for himself. So what is MFA? As I mentioned, MFA is multi-factor authentication, meaning after logging with your password, you have to authenticate it with another application. You get it? Some company has their own authentication process access. So you have to use the company federation access. Some of them has like the Active Directory. You know, an Active Directory is it's a federation application, meaning it's an application you can use to organize your company, putting all your company, giving them an ID in that federation application API. When you put them in there, so they don't need to log in again or look for access. As far they have access to the Active Directory, you can link your Active Directory to your cloud access control. So when you do that, anybody that have an existing Active Directory account can also make use of the cloud infrastructure. And you know, the same way IAM is, that's the same way Active Directory is. So you also have the administrator, you also have the network. You know, they have different policy that also bind them. So the same policy that bind them will be applicable here. So it's like you're also using the same credentials. So they don't need to create credential with your Active Directory and still come and create another credentials here. So using access, that's we call it federation. That's also under access control, access management systems. So you either use either of them. For me, I love this MFA. I enabled it for everybody. So if you have an account here, you can see this is Taiwo. Create an MFA for Kemi. You see here, you see summary, course or password, say never, means because I never signed in, she have never signed in. Then assign MFA, then I can decide to say, okay, let me make use of my existing MFA, which is virtual. So you can also use to security. This virtual means the one I apply, you can install either Microsoft Authentication or Google Authenticator, put it on your app. You can download it from either Apple App Store or Google Play Store. You know, it's very small. It's very it doesn't take more space. Then use it for your authentication. Or you have a token, a hardware token. You can have a hardware token. There is a very recommended one here, Gameto. Your other tokens too, you just sync it. Some of them you just have to scan the barcode of your application and if I had this now, it would be added to my existing, but you know, we are just trying to stuff. So anytime you log in, after you put all your credentials, will not ask you for MFA authenticator. You go there, you click the app will generate a code for you, just the way you are using your normal token for bank. In your bank application, you just access it and that will be it. Access advisor. So I'll tell you how long you've used your password, how long the password has been changed, using management. And so last information is available in EC2 Lambda. A Lambda is an application that is like an AI. This way you can design it. You can either tell the Lambda to alert you or tell the Lambda to take some action on your behalf. You understand me? Then IAM, EC2 means instance, mean like your server. And then S3 bucket management. This one talks about your regular, talks about your object storage. That's where you have the Google Drive and everything. Yes, it's a serverless. This is a serverless. This Lambda is serverless. This S3 bucket is serverless, meaning you don't need to run server. You don't need to put on server to use them. That's meaning of serverless. Meaning they can be run off server. There are other applications that are also serverless. Again, this EC2 is a server, meaning it needs a compute. It needs to process the information. So these are the stuff, the tag, the group. Then with this, I think we are done. Start setting up your MFA. Then you set up your analyzer to analyze for you. Set up your to analyze the application for you, to help you, to advise you what you need to do, what you need to stop. Understand me? So this is how it works. You can set up a scope of the analyzer to organization. This is your zone of trust. Analyze, scan all the supported resources within your zone trust. You understand me? Zone of trust. Then review the active findings. Just read this literature and you get to know everything about your analyzer. You understand me? If the access is intended, you can archive the findings. So they will access and analyze the policy that allows access to resources outside to generate an active findings, including details about access so that you can take action. So it can tell you what is going on in your site, who is trying to access it, who is trying to bridge it, what is happening. So when it alerts you some abnormalities, sometimes some abnormalities, you are supposed to quickly go there and say, oh no, I don't want this. So that is it for IAM. So and there are many things to do about IAMs, many things to talk about. I think this is just a little summary. As I mentioned, it's a hands-on. So why do we decide to do this training? I will still repeat myself. It's not because of certification, because we want you to be used to it. So the way you go to your Facebook to check if a friend sent you a message, for our single ladies and single guys, the way you always check your WhatsApp to see if your babe have sent you a message, you are supposed to have this in save. You can use your phone to access it. You can access it via your phone. Yes, you can access via your phone. You are supposed to come here and play. It's fun. Is there anything difficult here? There's nothing difficult here. So just come here and play with your IAM. This is a job role for a particular, for a company, for a staff in a company. It's a certain job role. You understand me? Just to manage assets. Just the way in a physical company where there's, we call it security, people in charge of security, people in charge of CCTV, people in charge of assets. The same way, you understand me? You also have this. Then if you want to pursue a career in access management, you must know internet security. You must know internet, not be certified internet security. People are placing more emphasis on certification. Do certifications is very important. It validates what you have. So you are supposed to know the knowledge before going for certification, not getting certification and now looking for the knowledge. But especially, I'm talking about the practical hands-on. No, I'm going to send you some free internet security courses that you can do. Understand me? So what you do, just get the internet security courses, know what it is, know what are malware, know what are DDoS, know what is web application firewalls, understand what is called firewalls, understand how to set up a firewall, how to protect your system, how to secure a network, because they can attack your system and collect your credentials and you lose the account and just change your password. Imagine somebody attacking maybe you didn't use multi-factor authentication. You understand me? Attacking your system, cloning your system, at the same time cloning your email address. You have lost your account. And if a company they trust you, maybe a young company, they don't really know what they are into. They just called you to come and help them. And they have invest so much money, bought so many credit, got some applications. Apart from those things, apart from the physical money you're talking about, some servers, some documents in servers are expensive. They are worth millions and billions. Somebody having access to some server, it's a big loss. It's a big loss. So you have to understand how to secure the end user, because AWS have the responsibility, according to the SLA, to secure the physical infrastructure. They have the responsibility to ensure that the servers are available for you. Depends on the plan you want to use it on. They are saddled with responsibility to design the network interface to make it easy to secure the network on-prem. But my brother, my sister, you are responsible in securing your own laptop and your access point. So that is the reason you must, as an access management expert, as a system administrator, you must know how to secure your system. Not only your system, you also lecture all your users on how to secure their system. So that is it. So I'm going to end this class on IAM. So our next class is our next lab will be on how to set up a CloudWatch, so that you won't be caught, you won't be surprised. You won't just wake up one morning and say that your 200 credit is gone and or your money has been deducted. You understand me? You have to set up a CloudWatch so that when it's going out of, because every free tier has an amount of minutes that you have a resource, some resources to be running. For example, the EC2, another is resources. So when your time, your minutes is going, you have overused it, they will send you a message when it's 60%, when it's 80%. They will alert you. So you can quickly come and shut down if that server is not an economic server, it's a POC server. It's not a reproduction server. What I mean by production server, I mean a server that is used for business. You understand me? You just quickly shut it down. But if it's a business server, you look at the server, how many servers are running, you understand me? Or what is the workload? Was it well configured? You understand me? If the workload is one and you are running two servers, maybe you mistakenly spin up two servers for it, and they are running concurrently, you just shut down one. You understand me? Because I wanted to show in my next class, as I'm talking after CloudWatch, I will tell you the infrastructure of cloud of AWS. Why do people prefer AWS over on-prem services? Because of the availability. What is availability domain? What is availability zone? What is a region? And what's a fault domain? I think I'm going to do a little review on that, even as we go to the next class. So, catch you. Bye. So, welcome back. I just hope you enjoyed that class, that lab. I just hope you follow through and you also enjoy the hands-on skill. Every knowledge is limited. Why do I say it's limited? You know better than what you've learned yesterday. So if you learn again today, you have known better than that of yesterday. So the more you learn, the more you know. And the more you practice, the more it sticks. And simplicity is still the best way of teaching. So thank you. My name is Patrick Osatuame Aibogo. Catch you in the next class.